The big Overwatch 2 stream on Thursday started off with a massive announcement. The player versus player (PvP) side of the game, basically what Overwatch is now, is moving from 6v6 to 5v5 by eliminating one tank from each team. That's a monumental change and one of the biggest shifts in the 5-year history of the game. So much of Overwatch will have to be adjusted as a result, and the change will be reflected in the current game. The more I think about it, the more it seems like the right call. Many of the reasons game director Aaron Keller gave make a lot of sense. 2 fewer tanks and maps will clear up a lot of the visual clutter and streamline things. Tanks take up a lot of space and they can be noisy and distracting. Blizzard has always tried to make our combat easy to read and very understandable, Keller said. Sometimes, it's just hard to track what 11 other players are doing on the battlefield. Removing 2 of those simplifies everything, and it allows players to understand everything that's happening around them and make better choices because of it. The move will make the game easier to follow as an esport, and it will reduce the learning curve for new players. It will make Overwatch about as close as it can be to a conventional first-person shooter without removing abilities or killing tanks and shields completely. Hell, even Winston players are going to have to work on their aim more thanks to his longer-range alt-fire. It's a big change that will require Blizzard to rethink how every hero works. Tanks are being revamped to make them less about protection and more about brawling, as hinted by former director Jeff Kaplan earlier this year. We've had a look at some likely changes for Reinhardt, Zarya, Winston and Orisa's seemingly in line for a big rework as well. Other heroes will require significant changes too. What, for instance, will Bastion's place be in Overwatch 2 with 1 fewer tank or shield to protect the enemy? As it stands, good snipers will have a field day with only 1 tank in their way. How will Widowmaker, Ashe and Hanzo be rebalanced? And then there are the many crowd control abilities that tanks won't be able to protect their teammates from as much. We've had a glimpse of that, with Mei's primary fire no longer freezing enemies in Overwatch 2. McCree's Flashbang might be doomed as well, and Brigitte could be in line for an overhaul. In other words, there are absolutely many more changes coming as part of the shift to 5v5. During BlizzConline, we heard about role-based passive abilities that are likely coming to all heroes. Tanks will be more boot-proof and give less ultimate charge to attacking enemies. Damage heroes will all move faster and all supports will have passive self-healing. Those changes are still in development, Team 4 stressed yesterday. Those passives were confusing to me at the time. I thought they were going to take away from each hero's uniqueness.